Today's a big day, big night in sports. Game 2, of course, in that Celtics. You've got the Yankees after last night's debacle, but a win with Garrett Cole on the mound. You've got the double dip yesterday by the Mets, and you have new low-hanging fruit that we should all get all of our attention together on and focus to deliver Deebo Samuel to the New York Jets. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I'm good, Craig. Thanks for asking.
Great. I know you probably have the butterflies in your stomach.
Pits.
Big game tonight.
I hate it.
You got the doubleheader win.
I love that.
You almost saw a real no-hitter.
Love that.
The New York Yankees win, but the race. I mean, have I ever been more right about something in my life? Probably not.
I thought you predicted him to go 5 2/3 last night.
I started with 3 1/3, Evan, and even that was too much to expect from this guy. He ain't no ace. He's barely a major leaguer right now, 3 games into the season, and we will get to all that because it's got to be get to. But the lead right now, if the New York Jets are listening, Deebo Samuel is available. He has demanded a trade. He has the same agent as DK Metcalf. Go get it done.
It's weird how every week during this NFL offseason, there's an elite level wide receiver that either is available or we think he's available. And you and I and all our fellow Jet fans come together and we usually agree and say, hey, 2 number ones, let's use the 10th pick in the draft. Let's go get this elite level wide receiver.
100%.
And in Tyreek Hill's case, they were close. You tried to tell me, it's a good sign. They're in the game.
It's a very good sign. That's right.
But what I've always said to you, Craig, is eventually you've got to land that guy.
Well, there's another guy available at that level who suddenly fell into our lap, if you believe all the rhetoric, that he's demanded a trade. He will not play for the Niners. People close to him are saying, not him himself, but he wants out. Well, the New York Jets tried to get, as you said, Tyreek, just fell short. Okay, not their fault. Guy wanted to go to Miami. He's got outs. They're fine. We know they inquired about DK Metcalf. It's not as if they lost him to someone else. Maybe he
They're
stays.
not, as of now, they're not trading.
Right. But this guy's going to be traded. He's demanded a trade.
Whoa, hold on.
Let's
go. Couple of things. He has demanded a trade. He is a free agent at the end of next year. He could very well hold out. So he's got those cards on his side.
Maybe.
But eventually, the team he works for, the San Francisco 49ers, would have to say, okay, you got us. We're going to trade you.
Correct.
They may not do that.
They're going to do it.
Why? Because they're being threatened?
Because if he is fronting, and we believe he is, again, I've not heard it from him, that he will not play for them this year. Now, I don't know why they wouldn't offer him a contract extension.
Further on that, the reports I've seen is that they are, and he will not even engage in contract talk. So, yes, in this moment, he seems steadfast that he wants out.
Okay, good. Now, let's go get him.
Does he want us? Because Tyreek Hill didn't want us. Tyreek Hill down in Miami was laughing at the prospect of being a Jet at his press conference.
Right.
So while Deebo Samuel may not want San Francisco for a myriad of reasons, and there is a level of power he has in this. Because, look, could the Jets just simply trade for him without a contract extension? Yeah, his cap number is low enough where they could just trade for him and gamble on the fact that they'll be able to work out a long-term contract.
Which has got to be part of the deal, which I'm sure if he does go somewhere, my gut is that that's going to be part of the deal. He gets a huge deal, a huge contract.
But if that is a part of the deal, then he does have some sway because no one can force him to sign a contract. So it comes back to the question we asked a few weeks ago or a few months ago about Tyreek Hill. And the question we ask a lot, does he want us?
Here's the deal. The New York Jets are not going to do the deal until they have an assurance from Deebo and his agent that he's going to sign a contract.
So then, Craig, it gets back to that same question.
Yeah.
Does he want us?
I think he does, Evan, because we're special.
Did Tyreek Hill want us?
Tyreek Hill has a home in Miami, and he wanted to go home. I don't know if Deebo Samuel's got a home anywhere. I'm unaware of it.
I hope that Deebo Samuel loves Robert Saleh. I hope that they used to go to the bars together, that they used to, I don't want to say pick up ladies together because I think Saleh's married, but you know what I mean.
No, he's married, right.
Eat food together, play video games together. I hope they love each other, but that's always the fear that I have. And I'm not telling you Craig he doesn't want the Jets. I'm not saying that. I'm asking a question. Does he want the Jets?
Well, I guess we're going to have to let it play itself out and find out. But gosh darn it, my friends, we need to get us some Deebo. Because you get Deebo, it also changes that silly rhetoric that's out there that players at that level don't want to play for the New York Jets.
Absolutely.
So getting a guy like him is transformative in two ways. A talented player that we have not had the likes of in a very long time at that position, A, and B, a memo to everybody else. It's cool to play for the New York Jets.
You're also, and you're totally right about that, by the way. I don't want to just gloss over that. You're right. You helped change the narrative. I think back to this past season when C.J. Mosley was very open and said, people laugh at us. People don't take us seriously. And that's kind of continued in ways off the field and on the field. You've got to change that. You can change that by winning, but you also can change that by having young stars say, yeah, I want to be a Jet. It's cool to be a Jet. But what's exciting about Deebo Samuel, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to say I prefer him over DK Metcalf or Tyreek Hill. Look, they're all stars in their own way. If I had to rank him, he's not number 1 or 2, but that's besides the point.
He's still special.
The versatility of what he can bring to this offense, the creativity and how he can be used in this offense, and how it makes Zach Wilson's life easier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, we got him a tight end, right?
Two tight ends.
Two tight ends. We've improved the offensive line, at least on paper. There's hope that Mekhi Becton comes back healthy and in shape. All of a sudden, you have a second-year quarterback, which is when you make the biggest gains as an NFL pro.
100%.
As a quarterback,
yes.
You've got a legitimate wideout in Moore from last year. You had a guy like Deebo. All of a sudden, you have now given your second-year quarterback the tools to be successful.
So let's talk brass tacks. The advantage the New York Jets have over everyone else who would be interested in Deebo Samuel, I'm sure half the league would be, is that they can offer a first-round pick, a premium first-round pick. Ideally, not the first-round pick, but number 10.
I believe that's our only advantage.
Are you willing to part with that?
Yes, 100%.
So the idea that Drake London could be as good, if not better, and make a lot less money, that doesn't appeal to you.
It's like I always say to you, Evan, I've been very consistent about this.
Yes.
There are guys who project to be something, and guys that you know what they are.
I agree with you.
I'm taking the known quantity.
I agree with you. The draft, in a lot of ways, is a lottery. And yes, ideally, if you draft a kid like Drake London and he's that good and you're not paying him big money, that's an ideal situation, right? That's a perfect script. But I'd rather get the sure thing. And after watching Deebo for 16 games last year, we saw him really blossom. We always saw glimpses of him his first 2 years in the NFL, but last year he was the all-pro superstar that he can be.
Yep. Now, from one guy who is the all-pro superstar to another guy that wants to be, Garrett Cole is a problem for the New York Yankees. And for those of you that think I don't know what I'm talking about, I mean, I couldn't be any more right in this. I get no joy out of that. I'm glad the New York Yankees won. Garrett Cole is a problem. But for all you negative Yankee fans, and it's most of you, of course, after another pitiful offensive performance in which, if not for a pitcher's error catching a pop-up, the Yankees most likely lose last night's game.
1 for 13 with runners in scoring position.
Right. You have learned something very valuable about this New York Yankee team.
That Clark Schmidt is awesome.
Well, Clark Schmidt was great yesterday. They gave him the wrestling belt because he was their best player yesterday, right? But you learned something valuable. And what I'm about to say, Evan, is not the most popular opinion in town. Now, I don't usually make that my business. I usually have my finger right on the pulse.
Oh, yes.
And I'm merely a voice for the populace.
Oh, yeah. Craig is at the 97% pulse rate. Like, he's 97% of the time.
Right there, kid.
Right on that pulse.
Yeah, and speaking of which, as you know, we're only a few weeks away from the nominations for this year's Pulse of the People Award, of which I am a guaranteed finalist. I can tell you that right now.
Sure.
And that's just my gut as a 6-time former winner. You're very lucky if you're a Yankee fan right now.
Why's that?
Because even though the ace of your staff right now is garbage, and frankly isn't even pitching at a major league level, hasn't gone, I mean, what's his longest outing this year, right?
His last start, which was 5 1/3 or 5 2/3.
Right. He's averaging
5
3.
2/3.
All right. Yep. You are watching brilliance every night. You are watching a guy with a full command of the sport of baseball. And if not for that guy, the New York Yankees would not be in first place today, and yet they are. You should count your lucky stars that Aaron Boone is your manager.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
That's your on-the-pulse comment?
That's right.
Well, if he's so on the pulse, how come?
Amazing.
How come when the great Garrett Cole is ahead of Willie Castro 1-2?
All right.
And then it turns into a marathon 11-pitch at-bat, and Cole walks him, and that walks in a run, if I'm not mistaken. How come the brilliant Aaron Boone allowed him to stay in the game?
Yeah, because Aaron Boone knows his roster.
Does he?
That's right.
No, he doesn't know his roster.
Aaron Boone knows what's up.
Well, why would
he
you
is
not
a brilliant manager.
Why in that moment after Garrett Cole has now issued 3 consecutive walks?
Right.
And that one to Castro was the worst of the bunch because he was ahead of the count. It was a long sequence. His pitch count in the inning had ballooned up. Why are you even allowing him at that moment to face Robbie Grossman and Austin Meadows? Why? Yeah, Mr. Aaron Boone defender?
Well, it actually turned out okay, did it not?
Did it? He gave up a sacrifice fly and another walk. He got bailed out by the immortal, the great Clark
Schmidt's Yoo-hoo Player of the Week in the American League. Now, listen, I mean, the bullpen has been their savior this year.
It has.
Because here's the real story. Yeah, listen, Garrett Cole right now is, I mean, God, I don't even know how to describe him. It's obnoxiously bad.
He's a mess right now. I think that's the way to describe him. I think his confidence is taking a hit. I think we're seeing him act differently. Like last night, and I don't know if you make a big deal of this, but I want to bring it up.
Before you say, let me think.
Yeah.
No.
No what?
You said you're not sure if I make a big deal about something, but I don't know what that something is, so I'm going to guess.
Here's the something.
I'm going to guess I don't.
I know. I think you will, actually.
Oh, all right.
When Ronnie Garcia gets hurt, he was the second pitcher for Detroit.
He's
after
the guy
they took
with
Tyler
the broken
Alexander
nail.
out.
He threw the ball basically to the dugout.
He threw the blooper pitch, nail hurt. He's out of the game.
Right.
And so now there's a long delay and there's a long inning. I saw Garrett Cole do something. And Craig, I've watched thousands of baseball
You're talking about
games.
the top of the second.
Yeah, I've never seen a starting pitcher in the middle of an inning basically go out in front of the dugout and throw warm-up pitches.
He was warming up because it was a little cold in Detroit last night.
Look,
a little chilly in Detroit last night.
I fully admit, like if Max Scherzer does that last night, and obviously he threw a brilliant game, we'd wax poetic about that. We'd say, oh, look at Max Scherzer. But, Craig, I've watched thousands of games.
Yeah.
I'm a baseball geek. I'm the definition of it. Yeah. Never in my time have I ever seen a pitcher in the middle of an inning say, you know what? There's a long delay. I'm going to go out and throw a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing was you saw him go on hands and knees, or in the squat position, if you will, numerous times in the middle of that second inning.
Yeah, like he was trying to find himself.
He looks different on so many levels, and he looks beaten confidence-wise. And look, I know you like to hear that you're right, but right now, this is not the same Garrett Cole.
He's not an ace. He's not the same guy. He's not worth $340 million. They need to invent an invisible spider tax so he can get back on his game. He, unfortunately, is a joke right now, and that's unacceptable on a myriad of levels. I'll tell you what else is unacceptable. The Yankee offense is unacceptable. You know, we can talk all day and night, and we will, about how bad Garrett Cole is. Aaron Judge has a single RBI this year. One RBI.
Yeah.
One. A single RBI.
Joey Gallo, and I'm sorry to attack you, but you brought it upon yourself.
What did I do?
You wanted to compliment the manager.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, Aaron Boone is just at another level.
Oh, is he?
It's almost, Evan,
Oh, is he?
It's almost like he's teaching a PhD course in managerial decisions.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well, let me take you back a week ago.
Yeah.
Joey Gallo
we gotta
was
take
looking...
a break. Gotta take a break.
No. We won't.
We gotta take a break.
Joey Gallo was looking promising. And then Aaron Boone pulled him out of the lineup. Right. And you even criticized it. Since that decision by Aaron Boone and Joey Gallo's return to the lineup, where I think most of us admitted, okay, hitting the ball hard, he's looking good. Joey Gallo's 1 for his last 20 with 10 strikeouts.
He's having a tough time seeing the ball.
Is he?
Yep.
He was 0 for 4 yesterday with 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, he took what they call the golden sombrero.
So I'm not blaming Boone's decision to pull him out of the lineup for this. I think this is all on Joey Gallo. But since you wanted to say Boone's pressing all the right buttons, that was a bad button to push about a week ago.
First place, Evan, and their best player supposedly in Aaron Judge has a single RBI. Their best pitcher, supposedly, can't get out of the second inning against Detroit. There, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
And what has that guy done? He has calmed the ship, and he has led the Yankees to a first-place position. He's manager of the month.
Oh, stop.